Hey guys, this is Prashant and today we have a very interesting story about a business empire that was set up in India and that belongs to the richest man of India today. Well, we are talking about Adani. Today the name Gautam Adani has almost become synonymous with wealth and entrepreneurship success. This Gujarati businessman, who at one point of time was a small-time commodity trader, is today counted amongst the world's richest people. Currently, the famous magazine Forbes places Adani in the 6th position in the list of world's top 10 richest people. According to Forbes, today, Adani's personal wealth stands at a whopping $120 billion, which in terms of Indian rupees stand at nearly 9 lakh crores. This spectacular rise in Adani's wealth is mainly due to the healthy rise of the valuations of Adani's several businesses during the last few years. Today, Adani's conglomerate, the Adanis Growth, has presence in several businesses and industries. This includes the port management, airport management, power transmission, coal mining, renewable energy, edible oil, and many other businesses. If we were to consider the valuation of all these businesses, then according to Bloomberg and Forbes, as of today, the total valuation of all these businesses is more than $200 billion. In fact, this year, 2022, Adani Group became India's only third conglomerate to cross the $200 billion valuation mark. The other two companies being Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries and Tata Sons Tata Group. Now it literally freaks my mind to think that all these mind-boggling success and insane amount of wealth has been achieved by a man who merely few decades back was running a mid-sized business. But guys, the shocking facts about Adani's success doesn't end here. What makes Adani's success even more shocking and inspirational is also the fact that he's a college dropout. And apart from being a college dropout, he was also born in a middle-class Jain family. This means, unlike the Tatas and the Birlas, Adani did not inherit any great wealth from his forefathers. He's completely a self-made billionaire. That his growth and success can be divided mainly into two time zones: Adani's growth before 2014 and Adani's growth after 2014. The year 2014 has actually proved to be a milestone year for the entire Adani Group. So the question here is that what really happened in 2014 that helped Adani's business so much? Can you guys really think of that answer? Well, the answer is that in 2014, Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India. Back then, almost everyone had predicted that Adani's business will benefit immensely with Modi becoming the Prime Minister. These predictions were obviously based on the fact that both Adani and Modi shared a fantastic bond. Their friendship dates back to the days when Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. By the way, for all those who don't know, Adani himself hails from the state of Gujarat and even the headquarters of the Adani Group is based in Ahmedabad. I would like to provide some hard facts about Modi-Adani's friendship. And more importantly, why does Narendra Modi trusts and is fond of Adani so much? Well, Adani became Modi's good friend in the year 2002. That is exactly a year after Modi became Gujarat's Chief Minister. By 2002, Adani had already become one of the most powerful and successful businessmen of the Gujarat state. He owed his initial success primarily to the Mundra port that is located in Gujarat's Kutch district and was acquired by Adani in 1995. Since then, this man has never ever looked back. In years to come, Mundra port became the biggest cash cow business for Adani. In fact, even today, that is 2022, Adani Ports and SEZ Limited, which operates Mundra and several other ports in India, is the biggest revenue generating company in the entire Adani Group. There is a reason why I am giving so much stress on the Mundra port success. You see guys, it was only after Mundra port's emphatic success that Adani's stature grew dramatically among Gujarat's business community, and so did his influence among Gujarat's top politicians. This in fact brings me to a very interesting question, and this question being what makes Adani so good at making political connections? If you carefully watch any old or even latest videos of Adani's interview, you'll immediately spot Adani's soft-speaking nature and his ability to stay calm even during the most toughest moment. Well, Gautam Adani's close friends have always argued that he always brilliantly capitalized his soft-speaking nature to win the trust of influential people. So when Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2001, it wasn't really difficult for Adani to win the trust of Modi. However, mind you guys, it wasn't really all smooth sailing for Adani and Modi's friendship. This friendship had to go through a really testing times. This was a period when Modi's entire political career was hanging on a thread, and it was Adani who played an important role in saving Modi's political career. In fact, I would go to the extent of saying that if not for Adani, then probably Modi would have never become India's Prime Minister. I know I'm making a very big statement here, but this statement of mine is backed by hard facts and pretty convincing arguments. And to present this convincing argument, I would like to take back all my viewers to the year 2002. This was the year when the state of Gujarat witnessed one of its worst communal riots. Since Narendra Modi was the chief minister at that time, he had to face a lot of heat because of this riot. A large section of Indian media and even members of his own political party, the BJP, squarely blamed Modi for this deadly riot. To sum it up, Modi was attacked from all quarters and the national image had taken a huge hit. Now it was amid all this controversy and negativity that Modi faced a major controversy at the CII conference in 2003. CII, which stands for Confederation of Indian Industry, is actually an important industry body representing Indian businesses, and many high-profile politicians, including even the Prime Minister and the President of India, regularly participate in the CII conference to interact with the industry leaders. It was in one such CII conference that Modi was openly criticized for his inability to stop the Gujarat riot. And what made it even worse, the stinging criticisms came from high-profile industry veterans, including Bajaj chairman late Rahul Bajaj. Well, according to unconfirmed reports, some top industrialists even demanded that CII should immediately ban Modi. It is said that Modi took this blatant attack by the Indian corporate very personally. It is even said that he took a vow that he would never ever return to the CII conference. With India's corporate world now almost boycotting Modi, Adani had to make a tough choice. Either he had to side with CII or risk siding with Modi. Conventionally, in those days, any powerful businessman would have sided with CII and could not have even remotely thought of siding with Modi. But guess what Adani did? Adani decided to go against the wind and took the mighty risk of siding with Modi. But mind you, he didn't merely stop at expressing only verbal support for Gujarat Chief Minister. Adani went ahead and did something very special for Modi. This special thing, by the way, helped in cementing this friendship with Modi forever. Well, that special favor, or rather I should say special event, was called Vibrant Gujarat Summit. After getting almost humiliated at the CII conference, Modi decided to start Gujarat's very own annual business summit. This glitzy annual summit, which is organized even now every year, was started with the aim of attracting business investment in Gujarat. But now, more importantly, this was obviously going to be a summit where Modi was not going to be politically attacked. The first ever Vibrant Gujarat Summit was held in the year 2003, and from the first year itself, this summit became a huge success. Not only after this summit able to attract big corporate leaders, but also a fair amount of media attention. In the subsequent years, Vibrant Gujarat Summit achieved even more great success. In fact, this annual summit became a national talking point, and this, ladies and gentlemen, helped in giving Modi a much needed image makeover. Modi, which at one point was condemned by the section of Indian media as the communal mascot, was now hailed as a pro-business leader of India. It is widely believed that it was Adani who suggested the idea of Vibrant Gujarat to Modi. Not only that, it is even said that Adani made personally sure that Vibrant Gujarat becomes a big success. So now, if you put everything in perspective, it is clearly visible that Adani played a critical role in rescuing Modi's political career. Today, probably all Modi supporters would agree on one thing, that without the image makeover that eventually transformed Modi's image from a communal mascot to a pro-business leader, Modi would have never become India's Prime Minister. And as I had mentioned before, in the final section, I would be discussing the controversial decisions taken by the Modi government. These controversial decisions were allegedly and supposedly taken only to help Adani's business ambitions. That's because I'm going to start this section with a controversy that has hogged a lot of media limelight. This controversy dates back to 2019, where Adani's newly formed airport operators company, Adani Airports Holding or AAHL, won the contract to operate 6 airports in India. This included Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Mangalore, Jaipur, Guwahati and Thiruvananthapuram airports. In this bidding process, AAHL defeated several traditional airport operation companies including GMR, which is India's largest airport operations company and is also the market leader in this industry. Now, I am sure my viewers will ask me, where is the controversy here? Well, you see, just before the bidding process had started, the Airport Authority of India and Ministry of Civil Aviation inserted a new rule. According to this new rule, the bidding companies were not required to have any major past experience in the airport's operations. Now, the only company that could have benefited from this new rule was obviously Adani's AAHL. That's because AAHL was probably the only bidder that literally had zero experience in airport operations. And when AAHL indeed won the bidding, there was a huge hue and cry. Many experts, including Modi's critics, accused that the Modi government sought to bring this new rule only and only for the sake of helping Adani's company. But this controversy doesn't just end here. There's another angle to this controversy, and it is very interesting angle. Months after winning the contract for operating 6 airports, Adani got hold of another airport. But mind you, this was not just any other airport. This is among India's most high-profile airports. The airport that I'm talking about is the Mumbai International Airport, which is India's second busiest airport after the Delhi airport. Well, Adani had acquired the Mumbai airport in 2020 yet again in a very controversial manner. Back then, Mumbai Airport was operated by GVK Industries through a joint venture firm called Mumbai International Airport Limited, better known as MIAL. Well, it is widely speculated that Adani used his political connections to force the debt-ridden GVK Industries to sell its entire 51% stake in the Mumbai Airport's holding company. Well, according to media reports, GVK Industries owner, the Reddy brothers, were unwilling to sell their stake to Gautam Adani's company, but had to eventually succumb to the political pressure. After acquiring the operational rights of Mumbai Airport as well as 6 other airports, Adani's airport management company became India's second largest airport operator. Adani's airport management company, which I would like to remind all my viewers is barely a 3-year-old company, now controls 26% of India's air passenger traffic and nearly 31% of India's air cargo traffic. To sum it up, I won't be really exaggerating if I say here that the Modi government has literally served the almost entire airport infrastructure industry on Adani's platter. The second controversial decision that I will be discussing is again sort of similar to the first controversy that I had discussed just a few minutes back. Well, this is because in this case as well, Adani went on to become almost a market leader in an industry where he was a non-existing player barely few months back. Here I am talking to Adani's ambitious foray into cement business. Well, Gautam Adani had launched his own cement company, Adani Cement Industries, back in June 2021. That is last year. However, India's cement industry is ruthlessly competitive and has many legacy players who have been dominating this industry for several decades. Therefore, for Adani to become a formidable player in the cement market purely through organic route was always going to be a Herculean task, and the only way through which his newly launched cement company could become a serious competitor was by acquiring existing cement companies that commanded sizable market share. So when Ambuja Cement and ACC Cement were put on sale in May this year, Adani surely could not have let this opportunity go from his hand. Swiss multinational giant Holcim Group, which owned majority stake in Ambuja Cement and ACC Cement, announced earlier this year that it wants to sell that stake in both these companies and permanently exit the Indian market. As soon as Holcim made this announcement, slew of top cement companies rushed to join the acquisition war. This included India's topmost cement companies, namely Ultratech Cement, GSW Cement and barrage of other cement companies. Acquiring Ambuja and ACC Cements would give any top cement company almost a monopoly position in India's cement industry, since both these companies are among India's top 5 manufacturers. Adani Cement, which was absolutely a new player in the cement industry, conventionally should not even have remotely stood a chance of winning this acquisition battle. But guess what happened? Adani Cement managed to defeat all the top cement companies of India and acquire Ambuja Cement and ACC Cement for a whopping $10.5 billion. By acquiring these two companies, Adani Cement instantly became India's number 2 cement manufacturer. This company managed to pull off this rare feat despite spending barely 1 year in the cement industry. I mean, just come to think of it, guys. This business tycoon enters new industries one after another and becomes a dominant player in these respective industries with absolute ease, while some of the competitors in these industries took years and even decades to reach to the dominant position. Adani companies reached to the same position in a matter of few months. And anyone thinks that this has nothing to do with the political connections, then all I can say is you have been too naive. Now let's move to the third controversial decision. I am now going to discuss about one of Adani's very interesting companies. This company is Adani Green Energy, a company that was incorporated only in 2015. This company also got listed on the National Stock Exchange in 2017. Now I've finally come to the interesting thing about this company. Since going public, the valuation of this company has been skyrocketing and reaching unprecedented levels. In fact, as of today, Adani Green Energy is the 10th most valued company of India with a market cap of over 4 lakh crores. Adani Green Energy shares got listed on the NSE in 2017 at a paltry price of 28 rupees but managed to touch its all-time high of 2900 rupees in April this year. Now this is almost a whopping 10,000% increase in the stock price in just 5 years. Well, going by the continuous upward movement in the stock price and valuation, it is pretty clear that the investors are going simply gaga over the company. But the question is, why are the investors going crazy for a company that still has a very long way to go to prove its fundamentals? Well, the answer is that Adani Green Energy has won quite a few lucrative contracts floated by the Modi government in the last couple of years. This includes the $6 billion solar energy contract to build 8 gigawatts of solar projects across India. This is the world's largest ever solar energy contract. Now, Adani is not only India's second largest airport operator and second largest cement operator, but is also world's topmost solar energy producer. This is not only because this controversy broke up only few days back since I started shooting this video, but primarily because the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is said to be directly involved in this controversy. Remember guys, this is probably for the first time that Prime Minister Modi has been directly accused of helping Adani's company in winning the contract, and therefore not surprisingly, this controversy has already become a national talking point. But what is this controversy all about? Well, this controversy revolves around Adani Green Energy winning 2 renewable energy contracts in Sri Lanka. Well, both these wind power projects are supposed to be located in Sri Lanka's Mannar district, and the total cost of these 2 projects is estimated to be worth $500 to $600 million. This deal was dodged with controversies right from day one, as Sri Lanka's opposition parties accused that this deal lacked transparency. But this controversy assumed a national importance both in Sri Lanka and India only after Sri Lanka's Ceylon Electricity Board chairman made a sensational claims to Sri Lanka Parliament. The top official said to the Sri Lankan Parliament that Sri Lankan President Rajapaksa had informed him that the Prime Minister Modi was personally pressurizing him to award the wind power project contract to Adani's company. Although there is still no direct evidence suggesting Modi's direct involvement in this power project contract, this controversy in a way strongly reasserts the popular perception that Adani's businesses are getting undue favor from the Modi government. Till now in this video, I was sharing a lot of flattery details about Adani's business empire, how Adani is entering into new industries and becoming a market leader. However guys, all these rapid expansion is coming at a huge price and cost. Well, my final point deals with Adani's group companies ever increasing debt. According to a rough estimate today, the total debt of Adani's group companies stands at a whopping 2.2 lakh crores, which makes Adani's group companies among the most heavily indebted companies of India. According to Bloomberg, Adani spent nearly $17 billion in 2021 alone for making 32 acquisitions in different sectors and industries. And most of this $17 billion has come from either debt raised through the international debt market or loans taken from banks and international equity funds. Here I would also like to draw the attention of my viewers that this year's Adani cement acquisition of Ambuja Cement and ACC Cement for $10.5 billion has also completely been facilitated by debt. But the real question is, how is Adani's companies managing to raise debt so easily while almost all its companies are stressed under a mountain of debt? And the answer is of course to do with Adani's deeply entrenched political connection in the current Modi government. Here I would like to mention 2 things to all my viewers. The first thing is that any business house that is politically well connected are believed to be favored largely by banks and investors. So much so that sometimes they even overlook the high debt levels of these politically well-connected companies while doling out the loans. Secondly, almost all business houses, including the Tatas and Reliance aggressive expansion, is largely fueled by debt. However, the rate of growth of Adani's company's debt is way higher than all its counterparts. I would like to finally conclude this long story, and in this conclusion I would like to say that the practice of industrialists and billionaires getting patronage or constant favor from the ruling establishment is commonly found across all countries. Probably there is no government or ruling establishment in the entire world that does not follow the controversial practice of hobnobbing with business tycoons. Nonetheless, it seems that the Modi government is stretching this practice a bit too far, and in the process is ending up hurting the Indian economy in the longer run. Viewers should bear in mind that too much crony capitalism ends up creating an economy where there's a monopoly of only few industries and business houses. And guys, too much monopoly goes against the very spirit of free market, which is the foundation of true and sustainable economic growth. In this context, one needs to ask whether Adani's rapid growth in recent years has come at the cost of India's long-term economic growth. This is a critical question that needs to be sincerely introspected and duly answered. Well, so this was our detailed case study about Adani's business empire and how he became India's richest man. If you like this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. You can also visit our website technodo.com for reading more tech stories like this. This is Prashant signing off. See you in the next one.